So tonight, episode 11 is on the way. We have Miss Niesha White in the building, straight out of Birmingham, Alabama. We're going up the road tonight, up the interstate. She's with Birmingham Techies group, and also Takeover. So what time is it?
It's right now time for Right Now Radio.
Live
I
on
was
Right
like,
Now Radio.
I was going over in my mind. I was like, I'm gonna mess it up.
It's all good. Man, so shout out to LSU girls basketball team last night. They brought home a big win on winning the championship. And history is continuing to be made. Shout out to Angel, for Jay and Caitlin. You'll see them in the pros soon. I'm definitely going to some games. How about you? You going to, you in sports?
I'm not really into sports, but
Really?
um,
Really?
if I had to choose one to watch, it would be basketball.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been watching women's basketball since I was a kid, but I kind of got into soccer too and softball over probably the last about 5 years or so.
Mm.
I just well, I've always known this, but I'm just a real advocate for women's rights and equality, especially in sports. I mean, these girls can play. I just feel
Yeah.
like that they need to be recognized for more than just being a pretty face. They need recognized for their skills too. And
Right.
the same thing in tech. Yeah. So at start our convo, tell me real quick, like, what do you feel is your superpower?
Yeah, so I would say my superpower is creating intuitive digital experiences and also brainstorming and ideating for products.
Mm,
Um, and building things from the ground up in creative ways.
wow. So what type of products do you like to innovate digitally?
Yeah, so like mostly the work that I've been doing lately for freelance stuff has been like surrounded around ed tech.
Mm-hmm.
And my
Mm-hmm.
last um my last product design position was at an ed tech startup. So it's mostly been in like the ed tech space.
Okay. And you know what? Another thing I wanted to ask you too. How did you
Mm.
become a Adobe ambassador? Like, did you have to run for office or anything?
Nah. So yeah, I was an Adobe XD ambassador. Unfortunately, it's not like a thing anymore just because with the Figma environment. But but yeah, I was an Adobe XD ambassador and it really happened really organically. Like I was just sharing a lot of content about Adobe XD on Twitter just because I found it interesting and I wasn't really seeing many other people doing it. And then like kind of Adobe XD account started to retweeting me and then they ended up letting
Oh
me know about their Adobe
man,
XD.
so they kind of found you.
Yeah, so it was real organic over on Twitter.
Wow, man, that's awesome though. I thought you had to like cast a ballot. Just making sure I didn't miss the election and anything. You know what I mean? I got you next time. But
Yeah.
why tech? What inspired you? I see you majored in computer science at Troy, but what inspired you to get into tech?
Yeah, it took me a while to settle on computer science. Like I really was going back and forth with my majors, but I ended up going with computer science because I tried several different majors, but my last major before computer science was graphic design, and I
Hmm.
really liked it because I love being creative and I love tech, so it was really cool. But when I started taking web design classes, I was like, okay, I like this like more than graphic design. And then I kind of started once I started designing websites, I was interested in how to build them. So then that led me to web
Oh,
development,
wow.
and so
That's
that's
how
how I ended up
that's
going
how
with
we got
computer
into
science.
programming.
Mhm.
So after you built your first website, do you remember what your first website was? I mean, mine was just a basic web page about myself, my name, where I'm from, what I like to do, and it was in HTML.
Mm.
Yeah. What was your website on?
I don't remember what my first website was really, honestly,
Oh
because
wow.
like I say like my first time dabbling with HTML was like the MySpace days. Doing stuff with MySpace. And then I moved over to Tumblr. And then it was kind of like
I didn't use Tumblr too much.
yeah, but I would be over there like doing the HTML stuff too. But then it kind of got to the point where once I did take like my very first like when I started coding something, I figured out how you could inspect websites and look at the code. So I would just kind of like use that code and copy and paste and switch up things and try to make stuff. So I really don't remember what my first website was, just because it was like, I don't know, once I got into it, I just like went into it real heavy and started cranking out stuff all the time.
So man, so then you founded the Birmingham Techies group and also Takeover. Tell us, did you start those by yourself, or did you have a help from Kelly, also Kelly and Raymond?
Birmingham Black Techies, I started that by myself in November of 2019. And that's something I still lead and organize solo. Black Tech Takeover was something that I founded, and I was the lead organizer for it. And my co-organizers were Kelly and Jackie, and we worked on that. And that was a one-time like 3-day virtual conference, kind of like during the COVID days.
Okay, man. So you know what? I was thinking now. I think that Birmingham Montgomery should join forces now. I think we've been competing long enough here. I think we need to just join forces, create some projects. We need to start a tech conference together. What do you think? I mean, we've already beat y'all in enough stuff, so I think let's shake hands. All right, let's shake hands and join forces.
Yeah, I know they're doing stuff for like the Alabama Collective with Birmingham and Montgomery, but I'm honestly not privy to like what all the details are. But I do know like people have started, like Montgomery and Birmingham have kind of started joining to do more stuff together. So that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, so definitely, you know what to do. I'll look. You know what? I'm gonna have to go ahead and look into that Alabama Collective. So what's your biggest inspiration for continuing this journey in tech?
Yeah,
I mean, like, did you have a teacher in high school that sparked their interest, or what? I mean,
so
who did it for you?
like there wasn't really like a particular person who inspired me to go into tech. I will say there are people though who have inspired me just to like do my best, like no matter like whatever it is, if it's in tech or anything.
I can definitely relate to that.
But I haven't had like, but there wasn't anyone who like kind of inspired me to go into tech. Like before I worked in tech, I didn't know anybody who was working in tech, or like that wasn't something that
Yeah,
people around me were even interested in.
yeah. So I mean, you sound kind of like me. Before I actually got into tech, I got into tech in my undergrad days too. When I was a sophomore in college, because before that, in high school, I was leaning towards radio and TV broadcast. So honestly, I guess I would find a way, in tech anyway.
That's funny as you say that, because like my first major out of high school was broadcast journalism, and I
Oh,
wanted to do radio.
wow.
So yeah.
Coming up, I was always into sports myself. I played basketball, so watching the sports report on the news was always interesting to me. I said, hey, you know what? I'm gonna be the sports guy one day. Then when I enrolled at the Alabama State University, I decided that hey, I'm gonna go with CIS. It was in the fall of 2005. So tech hadn't grown to be as big as it is now. They were still using COBOL then. And
Oh,
I didn't really like COBOL too much,
yeah.
but Java and C# could pique my interest. But when I was I had work study, and that's when I found about Cisco networking. Like that really kind of sparked it for me. I learned about how you can get in a government contract, which is what I'm doing now, and take different travel opportunities, working on different systems and networks. And you know what? And my whole peak went from there. I just went
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
went up after that. Yeah.
Yeah, COBOL brought back some memories. I remember doing
Yeah.
COBOL.
It brought back a lot of headaches for me. That's what it brought back.
I didn't like. I feel like I was one of the few people who I didn't mind COBOL. Like it kind of made sense
Oh
to me.
man,
Like,
you know what? I got another friend. Her name is Rose. We went to college together, and she hear this interview. She gonna be so happy she's not the only one. I always joking her about that. You don't want to let Cobalt Rose, and she like, no, I love it. She worse than that now. Still does it. Yeah.
I mean, that's like that's a job, like that's job longevity right there. Because there ain't too many people who know how to do it.
You know what? I really didn't think that Cobalt was still around. To be honest with you.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how many of these places have legacy code and people have to update it. Like so. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
but tell me, like, what's some of your favorite front end development projects to work on?
Yeah, so I haven't coded in years. Like once I got into the product design, I stopped coding. But when I was doing front end development, like right before I stopped, my job was using Angular, and I really liked Angular because it made sense to me the way it was
Angular.
organized. And
Is
uh,
that I guess a part of GitHub or what is React? Anything like that?
it's like React, like it's a JavaScript
Mm,
framework, except it's
wow.
built on TypeScript instead of JavaScript. And to me, TypeScript, like it clicked more with me. It made more sense than JavaScript did. So I like using Angular, and we built all kind of stuff with it, all kind of front end projects. But I would like just go to Udemy and find courses on building stuff with Angular and just doing them. I would literally just do it for fun because it was interesting to me.
Yeah. Now you know what? Speaking of that, I mean, like, wouldn't it be a good idea for us joining forces, Birmingham and Montgomery? You know,
Join forces.
huh?
You said join forces.
Yeah, I'm just throwing out there for a special project. One day, we just have a weekend. I don't know, coding event because I like Apple Swift and Linux. I used Apple Swift when I was teaching at Trinum Community College here, and we used that to create AI simulated fish tanks, tic tac toe games,
Mhm.
Subway Surfer games too. So that was cool, and we use Xcode. We use
Yeah,
Xcode for that.
you should connect with some people at EdForm Pathways. They use Apple
Yeah,
Swift.
okay.
Yeah, they use like Swift is their programming language that they teach to Pathway students.
And
So
you know what? It's
I
pretty
haven't
easy.
used,
Pretty
yeah,
easy
I
to
haven't
pick up.
used Swift. I haven't used it, but I've seen people using. I've seen what they can build with it. I mean, it's pretty. I feel like it's pretty cool. I'm just like, I just don't have the coding bug anymore. It's like once I started doing the UX work, I was just like, I was
Mm.
done coding.
And you kind of just stayed there.
Yeah, I'm done coding.
What about what about Linux? I mean, Linux is not so much a coding. You just really, I say, configuring.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm definitely more on like the product design and management side now. Like right now I'm doing product design, but ultimately my goal is to get into product management and like that's more of the role I want to get into.
Project management. What's like one of the main projects you think you plan to manage?
Oh, so I want to get into product management and I would like to like manage products I would like to do something with probably like VR, AR,
Mm.
maybe something having to do.
Metaverse? What about the metaverse?
Yeah, I would like to manage a Web3 product, like really anything.
Yeah,
I just like cutting edge technology, something maybe an AI product, anything like
yeah.
that, with cutting edge
And
technology would interest me.
my interest for AI and blockchain has grown tremendously because
Mhm.
one of our previous guests, Miss Jessica Kimbrough, is really well versed in that area. She's has background in networking, but she's actually created her own blockchain product.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So it's
super
pretty
cool.
cool. That's on episode 6. You got to go back and check that out. I mean, it's huge, and I realized you can make so much money digitally. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, blockchain isn't going anywhere, not
Yeah.
at all.
So do you prefer working remotely or let's say on site?
Yeah, I definitely love working remotely.
I'm loving it too.
The flexibility because you can work from different places.
Yeah,
And spending time with family is really important to me. So I love that I can visit my family and still work. So
yeah.
I definitely like working remotely.
Yeah, me too. Me too. What is the best way to thrive and rise as a remote worker? So thriving and also earning your promotions. Staying productive. What are some of the best ways to do that?
I would say find out what hours you're most productive and work during those hours. And then make sure you give yourself time to just like not work. Because like I
Mm-hmm.
know when I was working in the office, most of my day was like walking around the building in meetings or stuff. It wasn't like I was just sitting heads down coding because at
That's
that time I
true.
was a
That's
developer.
true.
I wasn't
That's
sitting there
true.
coding all day, but when you're remote, it's tempting to just sit down in front of a TV or whatever and just like not get up. So I say to really do good, figure out what hours work the best for you and make sure you're working during those hours when you're most productive and take
Mhm.
breaks. Like
Yeah,
for
and
me,
you know what? And I really think that most people are more productive when working remotely
hmm
because
yeah, I definitely,
you know, a lot of time we'll spend walking through the building, you know, just kind of stepped away from the computer a lot. But I
hmm
think when you leave people kind of to work at their own pace and that, you know, at their own flexibility, they say, hey, you know, I can sit down at the table, watch TV. I can stay at my parents' house while I'm working, and you know, just spend time with family while I work. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's definitely convenient. I mean, people's house, wherever you're choosing to work, is probably more comfortable than being at the office. You have less distractions because, like, again, when I was a developer, it's always people coming up to you, asking you stuff, distracting you.
Yeah,
It was distracting. So,
yeah.
I get way more work
There's
done at home.
there's not a whole lot of dead space now. Cause
Mm-hmm.
hey, you're on your own a lot, but
Yeah,
like, you know, you meet most of your team members in teams now before you actually meet them in person.
that's true.
Yeah. So you know, also, you know, you mentioned Alabama Collective and Ed Forum. Um, let our audience know like what are some of the other developer communities that they should join, and also where can we sign up for these events?
Um, I'll say, let's see. I always encourage people to look up virtual communities, because those are really cool. Because a lot of times, like you may not necessarily have to be at a location. Like one that I really like is there's one for Black women in tech. It's called like Sisters in Tech. They have a really big Facebook group and they send out newsletters with job opportunities. But I would recommend people going online really and finding groups that are specific to whatever your niche is. Like I know there's Black Cloud Geeks.
Mm-hmm.
So like just find one that's like find a group that has to do with your specific interests. I think it would be way more helpful than unless you're looking to meet up in person. If you're looking to meet up in person, then yeah, groups like Birmingham Black Techies and groups that meet in person are cool. But if you're looking more for like education and like specific information about a topic, I would say find a virtual group that has a specific like niche based on like I'm in a whole bunch of like UX groups.
Yeah.
And then I'm even in one group like the UX of ed tech. So it's super specific for people who are in UX and interested in ed tech.
Yep.
So there's like groups for Black product managers. There's groups for everybody online. So go in there and find one that has to do with like your specific interests. And I think they'll be like you get a lot of help for as far as career growth.
Yep. So leaving a legacy. Tell us how do you want to be remembered at the end of your tech journey?
Yeah, I think I would like to be remembered for doing things
Your
um,
way.
that are innovative and that are well done. That's something that's very important for me. Like if I want to put out anything, I don't want to just like throw it together. I always want it to be good. And even if a million people don't see it, if 100 people see it and think that like, oh, that was really well put together, like that's good to me. Like I just want to put out good work, and I want to do things that are creative.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm like now looking for more projects that like really speak to me and that really, really, really interest me. That's
Yep.
something that, yeah, those are some things I definitely would like to be remembered for.
And oh yeah, this is a good one. Like,
Mhm.
how do you think your parents would describe what you do for a living? You know, they know that you're in tech, but you know, but how how would they describe
Ooh,
it?
my mom would probably say that I think my mom would be able to say that I design things. She probably don't know exactly. I think she would know though that like I
Yeah.
design websites and apps. She would know it, but my dad would have no idea what I do, honestly. I think he would probably just be like, I work on computers. That's really
Yeah. That's
that's
also
what my dad would
that's
say.
also my grandma say, yeah, my baby working on computer down on for the government. But
Yeah, my dad work
I
on
think my
computers.
dad will probably be better explain what it is that I do. You're right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But also too, tell us behind the tech scenes podcast. Uh, what can we expect from you all throughout the spring and summer? Y'all making any moves over there?
Yeah, so that's something that me and Kelly started, and I think we first started recording in December, but we
Mm.
just wrapped up season
And I
one.
started I started in January, so we all I guess on our
It's
first season
new.
together.
Yeah, it's still new, so
Yeah.
we just wrapped up our first season. We'll start recording our next season soon. It's just been harder just because Kelly is a CEO of a startup, so
Oh,
a tech startup, so her time is just really, really, really limited.
uh-huh. Yeah.
So
I'm
so
seeing that
once we
too.
can yeah, so when we
Yeah.
can record, we just like have to go record as much as we can. But we are definitely going to be recording season two. And my hope and dream is for us to do some in-person stuff later this year. I think
Yeah, that'd be great. And you know what? I just had my first in-person interview Friday at the barbershop talk. And that went well. That's on episode 10. But it was great. I think that really engaged everybody. It brought more
Mhm.
people out, got more people involved. So of course, hopefully, we can get together on some in-person interviews one day.
Yeah, I would love to do like later this year. I would love to do something in person, something live. I
Hmm.
think that'd be really cool. I feel like I don't know that many podcasts around here who are doing like live recordings or live
Yeah.
events. So I think that'd
But
be
see, you know
something
what?
really
Like
cool.
you mentioned, like air farm requests. But see, I know about social events in Birmingham. Like I was just there for the NCAA tournament. You can meet there. You can meet in a restaurant. Different venues. Say down in 5 Points. You can just have a little session in the side. Then Buffalo Wild Wings or something. You just talk about any topic you choose.
Mhm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah. Uh, you go back and give your 18-year-old self any advice.
Mm.
What would it be?
Ooh,
I know,
let's
right? Now that's
let's
pretty
start.
deep.
I'm like, there's so many things. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's so many things. If I could tell my 18-year-old self honestly anything, it's I would say invest in Bitcoin
Mm.
as soon as you hear the word, like before you hear the word, invest in Bitcoin. Like put everything in it, put everything in it, and don't take it out for at least 5 to 7 years. Just let it sit.
What's
You'll
the
be
best, man? They tell me like what's the best site to use Bitcoin? So I know and everybody else know.
Yeah, so I purchased Bitcoin. So there's a couple ways you can purchase it. You can actually purchase it on Cash App, and I recommend like purchasing it on Cash App
Mm.
because fees are not like as much as like Coinbase. But don't let it sit on Cash App. You want to have a wallet that you can transfer it to, but buying it on Cash App, they have pretty good fees. I'm sure there are other places though that have lower fees, but for me, that's where I found that's where I've been buying it and then transfer it to my wallet.
And let it sit for how long before transferring
Well, I mean, I don't know now, but I'm saying like my 18-year-old self, I would have said let it sit for like 5, 7 years because they would,
it?
well, no, actually probably even more. I would say my 18-year-old self, I would have told myself to buy it and maybe like as soon as it comes out and hold it for maybe like 7 years would have been like.
Yeah.
But now I just say get it and just now I say buy low, hold. Oh.
Man, have you all thought about getting into drone technology? If not, you know what? I would suggest so.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Like you smell like the like drone, like
yeah.
camera or
Yeah, because drone technology is pretty big. A lot of say state government sectors are using that not only for surveillance and let's say audio and imaging data, but they're also trying to protect hackers from breaking into the data too. I mean,
mm,
all industry using this, say state government, you got aviation companies, especially like for your Adobe, for instance, Microsoft, anybody who, because people always need vlogs and imaging photography, right? For weddings, different events, you name it. Social events. So, that's a good another way to make some additional income too.
that is true.
Yeah.
I'm seeing way more people using
Yeah.
drones for
Once you
things.
and now they're offering a lot of training. Even at Alabama State this summer, they have some 9-week courses for you to earn your drone license and to earn the certification. It's
Cool.
called the FAA 107 certification. And that's the same,
That's,
actually, that's the same license that pilots use to fly airplanes.
oh wow.
Yeah, yeah. So it's pretty big. So guess what? You can try to fly a drone and a plane one day. It's
That's
saying
scary.
you might be flying for Delta, you know.
Scary.
I mean, hey, why not? Try it out. You know.
Ooh.
I mean, I didn't get on my first plane till I was 27.
Mhm.
And for the first time I got on a plane, I went from here, Montgomery, to Guam. So
Oh my gosh.
that flight from going from Montgomery to ATL was like an hour, right? But that
Mm.
flight from ATL to Tokyo was 18 hours alone,
Oh
man. They
God.
broke me in good. Man,
Ooh,
they broke me in. Trust me.
that's a lot for a first flight.
Yeah.
That's
Oh yeah, I told you now. I said, all right, bro. You want to do this? Come on.
like you went all the way in.
Yeah, they broke me all the way in. But my recent longest flight was Alaska. I went there back in August, a few months ago. And
Mhm.
we going that far from Alabama, like you just expect to have a layover. You know what I mean? So it took us about 2 days to get there because
Dang.
that's when they had the big tornado storm that hit on the side of Charlotte. So
Mm.
we got delayed there a whole day. And then we
Ooh.
get on the plane like at 5 in the morning, 2 in the morning. We end up going to Chicago. You're supposed to go from Charlotte to O'Hare, then to Anchorage. And we ended up going along. We went to Charlotte, O'Hare, to Dallas, and then to Anchorage. I told you it took us a whole nother day to get there. Then you change the time zones like 3 times.
That's exhausting.
Yeah, man. Ooh, yeah, man. I'm gonna tell you, man, I slept good. And then when I got back home after my trip, man, you talking about jet lag, like I think it took me about a good 2 days to actually kind of get back right.
I bet. That's
Woo. Yeah, but it was fun. It was fun. Yeah. Man, so well, tell me too, what is your best and worst job that you had along the way?
Let's see. Worst job was definitely like right before I was working in tech. I was a teller at Wells Fargo. That was by far my worst
Uh,
job.
wow.
Just because people are crazy.
Yeah.
So that was the worst. The best job. Hmm. I feel like I haven't had my best job yet.
You don't think so?
I definitely haven't, because I haven't had a job
I
yet
have a
where
few.
it's just like, where I'm just
Yeah.
like, I just love what I'm doing. There's always been like,
Wow.
yeah, so
Yeah,
I haven't
about
had a
for
best job
me,
yet. I'm holding on.
yeah, oh, it's definitely gonna come. I have about three so far. I would
Really?
say, yeah, I have about three. Let's see. When I was a network tech for the court system here in Alabama, I was traveling to every county in the state, to all the courthouse and the juvenile probation office, adult probation too. But I was managing networks. I was actually pulling a lot of Cat5, Cat6 cable, activating Ethernet circuits, configuring Cisco routers and switches. That gave me my first, I guess, real heavy exposure to hands-on networking skills. Then
Mm.
and then guess what I did? I started teaching. All
Oh
right.
wow.
So I was actually teaching for almost 5 years. I taught high school for a year, then I went to community college. But at both of those schools, I taught at Valiant Cross. That's all boys school here.
Mhm.
And also I taught at community college. I managed the Cisco Networking Academy. So that allowed me to not only complete the certification accreditation for the program, but we actually built the lab. I had my students build a lab, but we actually put the first cabinet in there. So, hey, we're gonna take these 2960 switches, configure those to these 1921 routers, and then when I got the channel, we got the 4331 router. We started stepping up now. We went from a VCR to a DVD player. That's what you can compare it to, and and then we went ahead and set everything up, put some Linux servers in there, and we just brought our packet tracer labs to life, basic router configs to basic troubleshooting. And, we allowed them to actually demonstrate data from different, let's say, Cisco representatives, and letting them get some very good jobs.
Oh wow. That's
You
amazing.
know, uh, I would say, those some of my favorite jobs so far along the way. And also, being the travel, man, the last travel project I told you about, I went to Alaska Arizona and Fort Drum, New York. I went to Canada, everything. That was
Wow.
cool.
Yeah, yeah. You had some good ones. I haven't had my best one yet. I actually have considered teaching though. Like I really
Should,
have strongly considered it.
should.
But honestly, what's been stopping me? I'm just like, I don't want to go back to school. And if I taught, I would want to teach like college
Well,
age.
well, you know what? Now, guess what? Well, you know what? Most universities do require a master's. So yeah, ask it out. Yeah, uh-huh. But you want to go adjunct or teach, let's say, high school, there are quick ways to do that. You can use your certifications.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's just another way, to make that happen. But you definitely should with all your experience.
Yeah, teaching is something I definitely have thought about. And
And
I feel like probably one
it's
day I probably will
yeah,
end up
yeah.
doing.
It's very rewarding too. There's no greater feeling than knowing that you played a part in your student success. Knowing they came to you, they're trying to figure things out, and you the one that turned the light bulb on for them. Then when they tell you that, it really hits you right here. You know what I mean? It touch your
Mhm.
heart. It does. So that's a great feeling. And and for me, I saw myself in a lot of my students because I was once that, and I
Mhm.
was able to help them. Yeah, I was once just like them, and I was able to help them. So that's
Yeah, I think it would be really rewarding. So
yeah.
yeah, maybe that would be my best job. We'll see. I haven't had my best one
Do it
yet.
seriously. And then also too, you're right there in Birmingham. You can actually help some people right there in your community
Mhm.
because as I can tell, they're already looking up to you. So yeah, you definitely just do it, man. Aisha. Just do it. Just do it
Yeah.
right, thank you. Yeah. Yep. 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 Mm-hmm. But as we wrap up tonight, have you seen Black Panther?
The second one.
Either one. Either one.
Okay, so yeah, I seen the first one. The second
Okay.
one, I have
The
not
second one
finished
is
it.
the second one is jumping. It's probably the best one, man.
Really?
That was the top movie of 22 last year. It was that Woman King. Let's see. Beast with Idris Elba. Those some of the
Mhm.
best movies of the year. Trust
Yeah,
me.
I
Yeah.
seen Beast. I seen Woman King. I have
Yeah.
not finished Black Panther 2 though.
And then it's like 2 hours long, but they had me there the whole time. I didn't even want to go to the bathroom. I was like, man, my leg was shaking. Well, I was like, man, I can't miss this. Get that. I mean, like I had an extra large icy or slushy, but then I held it down. I held it. I said, I
You
ain't,
had
I
to
ain't
see
missing
it
this
through.
right here. Man, as I was gonna say, like, which fictional character would you like to have as your coworker? T'Challa or Killmonger? I'm gonna go with T'Challa.
I'm
Chad.
definitely going with T'Challa.
I'm going with Chad. I'm going with Chad, man. He was a real humble guy. He kind of remind me of myself. He was very
Yeah, I think.
smart. He was very smart. He was influential.
Mm,
Killmonger, he just really abused his power, and I ain't like
yeah, I definitely go with T'Challa. I feel like Killmonger would talk too much.
that. He did. He talked way too much. Then again, he was jealous because nobody
Yeah.
wanted to fool with him. I mean, not Killmonger, but T'Challa was the man. He was the hero.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Sure did.
Yeah, I definitely go with him.
Yeah, man, awesome. So I just want to thank you for your time on this interview tonight. You live on Right Now Radio. What time is it again?
It's time for Right Now Radio.
Yeah. So tell us how everybody can follow you. What are your social media handles and what's your personal website link?
Yeah, so the best way to find me is you go to my website, nieshawhite.com, because it has all my links on it. So like my LinkedIn and stuff. So nieshawhite.com, NIESHAWHITE. That's the best way to find like my links to everything is on there.
Okay. Okay. Absolutely. So now you have everybody. You have another influential black woman in tech. And you know what? She has a whole crew with her. She has Kelly, she has Raymond, and a few others. Straight out of Birmingham, Alabama. Which Alabama has a lot of talent around here. But let's wrap up episode 11. And we're gonna send everybody home for the night. We'll see y'all later.
Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. You're welcome.